Good morning. It is December 31st. It's New Year's Eve, and I am here, and I have my voice back. Everything is looking up. I'm trying to make sure I get my chat function up and running so that I can actually see you if you comment. Let me bring this over here. Doesn't look like anybody's joined us yet, so that could mean either I'm not online or people are still sleeping. That's what my family is mostly doing. Let's see. I'm not looking for live replay. I swear, YouTube doesn't make this easy. As much as I like... Oh, there I am. I'm on there. Sorry, YouTube. I love you. Maybe I should shut my pie hole. Let's see. Trying to see if I actually see it on... Online. Thank you, Ruth. I appreciate that. All right. Well, we will carry on. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I'm writing down what this week's giveaway is because Laura and I didn't discuss it, and that's how my life is going right now. All right, last week's winner of the $100 Amazon gift card is Craft on Q. Laura will be contacting you, that sounds like a pseudonym, to help you claim your prize, but thank you for entering, and I appreciate everybody who entered. That was pretty fun. I hope you enjoyed the Christmas Eve fashion show, even though I had some technical difficulties. In fact, speaking of technical difficulties, I'll make sure that my microphone, which I love, is also working. Hopefully by next Christmas Eve, I'll figure out how to move positions for next year's fashion show. And maybe, just maybe, no promises, I'll get my husband to join in. He had some ideas for this year, but he didn't actually join in because I didn't make him anything. Sad face. All right, so what else have we got going on this week? I'm trying to go back to my main screen, but there I am. All right. Whew. So everybody at my house is healthy, and everybody is going to bed way too late and then getting up at it's 10. I think half of the kids are awake. It's kind of crazy. Even Stella's sleeping in until 8, 8:30, 9, depending on what we're doing. Yesterday we went to visit my granddad over in Huntsville, Alabama, and it's like a 3.5, 4-hour trip. We left not as early as we wanted, ate lunch at my favorite barbecue place in Huntsville, visited for a while, but he's 96 or somewhere in there, and my kids are rambunctious, and so we don't stay overnight or anything exciting. We just visit for a while, and then we come home. And that worked really perfectly. It was really nice just to get to visit with him. He didn't come for Christmas this year, and this was the first year, and I think all of us were, well, I can speak for myself. I was a little selfishly sad that he wasn't able to be there, but I was really glad that we're close enough to go visit him and stay for a while and visit. I made him a pair of the free pajama pants and flannel shirting. Because I've always struggled, if I buy the flannel fabric that's always on sale at Joann's, okay, not always, but on sale a lot at Joann Fabrics, it's much stiffer than any of our store-bought flannel pajama pants. And it just doesn't have the same drape. It's just not, it's fine. It's cute. They have cute patterns, and I have a whole trunk of it somewhere that I need to do something with. But it just doesn't have the same drape. My kids don't complain. I notice. It's just stiffer and holds in one place type thing. So I actually went up there and I was looking for kind of a cotton shirting, which is what you would make a button-down shirt with, maybe. But it's out of season. And so I went with flannel because he is always cold. And it was really nice. Oh, I have it. Hold on. In case you're wondering, every week I look around me and I'm like, okay, is there any fabric I want to talk about? Because I want it within reach. And I would say 90% of the time, I don't think of it until I actually need it in the heat of the moment. Anyway, so this is from Joann Fabrics. There we go. It's just a flannel, but it's, here, we'll try and, it's a little softer. It has a soft, I don't know how to describe it. Just the drape is really nice, which you wouldn't think about for pajama pants, maybe. But if you were to buy them in a store, like, I don't know what store. The Gap, actually. We have a pair from the Gap. My husband does. And they have little snowmen on them. And it's definitely closer to this. My only complaint was that a lot of this was sold out in the sort of wintry colors. And then they just didn't have a lot. The first one I wanted was a blue and white plaid. And they didn't have the required amount that I needed for the pajama pants. Anyway, this is the second thing I've made for him. I think he was so surprised by the first one. I made him a halftime hoodie a couple of years ago, and he asked me for lounge pants. And I was like, pajama pants? And he's like, no, lounge pants. I'm like, okay. So he seemed pleased. We'll see if they fit. I get really nervous about elastic because sometimes, hopefully this has happened to other people and not just me. Well, first off, my only 1-inch elastic around here is really, it crushes easily. And I don't like to use it for waistbands, which pretty much means I don't use it. I don't like it. And so I had 3/4. So the waistband's a little thinner than I would have wanted. And then I put in a drawstring and I used the twill tape as my drawstring because that works really nicely. Anyways, it's one of those things where I forgot what day it was because we're on Christmas vacation. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, we're leaving in the morning. I need to get this done. So, yeah. But hopefully he likes them. He promised me that he would let me know if they don't fit. Excuse me. This is my favorite mug, in case anybody's interested. I call it my grandma mug. I think I'm really looking forward to being a grandma. Just saying. I'm not counting down or anything, but like it's going to be awesome because I'm going to have hopefully a ton of grandkids. I've like invested all these kids. And anyway, I think about this too much. Lounge pants you can go out in public in. I mean, maybe he lives in a retirement home. I mean, maybe he'll go to breakfast in those. We ended up meeting a friend of his as we were starting to leave, and she walked down the hall with her walker and no shoes on, and she like just had this joy that just like bubbled out of her. I mean, like it was infectious. This is not my personality. I would love to be that much filled with joy because, I mean, my 2-year-old doesn't hug any stranger. Like, I don't think she even hugged my grandfather, and she's met him a few times. Like, she's not hugging you unless she really wants to hug you. And she actually hugged my grandpa's friend. It was amazing. I mean, all of us were just like, what is happening? The apocalypse is upon us. No, I'm just kidding. But this woman was just so tickled. That's the only word. Tickled to meet all of the kids. And like, there's so many of them. And they were not freaking out at the moment. It was just really, it was awesome. I long to be the fun grandma. I want to be called like Yaya or something ridiculous. I want to say ridiculous things. I can't wait. Hopefully I make it. Because, my kids are stressing me out a little bit. All right. So moving right along. I got all of my Christmas sewing done except for 2 things. One was just a dress I wanted to make for one of the twins, and one of the twins rarely wears dresses, so, but the other one was an Annabeth for my sister. It's all cut out. It's ready to be sewn up. It's just been either constant illness or constant interruption or trying to be present with the family because I have tried not to work at all. And we've gone to see a lot of movies. We've done some random stuff around the house. Oh my gosh, I cleaned and organized the twins' room, which is glorious. I actually have a ton of organizational things. I'm attacking my son's room next. That's where all my time has gone. I'm sure it will last for all of a hot minute, but I'm attacking the Legos this week. Wish me luck. So hopefully I'll get my sister's done. She was not super thrilled with me that I didn't finish it. I'm sorry. I put a lot of stress on myself for it to be perfect, and then when I have a lot of interruptions, like I have issues. That's all I can say about that. Laura is looking for promo team applications. For our promo team, these people just help spread the word of 5 out of 4. They can typically take halfway decent photos. And by that, you don't have to be a professional. If you are a professional, I would love that, because one thing that I think our older patterns is lacking are the more professional looking photos. And yeah, we need more photos. But anyway, if you're part of the promo team, it's not super high stress. We get you the patterns way in advance. We have a whole spreadsheet system that Laura worked out. But you get like an increased affiliate rate, which means if people click on your picture and use your link, you make a little bit of money for selling a 5 out of 4 pattern. We just expect that you sew up and photograph one item a month. And you also have opportunities for fabric discounts and other giveaways that we run in our promo group. So if you're interested, I'll put a link to the Google form in the show notes. But we would love to add some more people to it because we are growing like crazy. Now, oh shoot, I didn't get this number. I have one more number that I want to get. Let's see where it is. Wow, it like really doesn't want to tell me. So there it is, 29,702. Not that I'm counting. 712. Oh goodness, my brain is on vacation. All right. So one thing that I haven't really focused on in the past month that I've sort of been taking a break, but still present here with you guys, but like just not working as much as I normally do. I'm very lucky that my husband actually had all of last week and all of this week off. So we've really been like, we have a puzzle going. We love puzzles. We got some stuff going on. My sister was in town, family time. But so my goals for where I wanted to grow 5 out of 4 by the end of the year weren't quite met, but you'll hear from the numbers, like we're growing like super fast and we really want people to join us. And so like Instagram, I wanted to get to 5,000. We're so close. We're not going to get there today, but I'm super pumped with where we are. We're at 4,800. Our newsletter's over 20,000, which is just amazing because I don't think I'm that witty of a writer. And yeah. YouTube, we've grown to 2,600. And Facebook, we are just shy of my goal. We're at 29,712. So I'm not sad that like I'm constantly setting very lofty goals. I have very high expectations for where I can grow 5 out of 4. I do like to talk about it a lot with my team and have them set goals for themselves as well. But I'm pumped. Like we've grown a ton. In January, right around Martin Luther King, we're going to be celebrating 5 years. Of course, we're planning some epic week-long celebration. If you're a fabric company and want to be a part of that, we would love to have you sponsor part of that giveaway. Just reach out to Laura O'Neill. It's been awesome. So I'm not sad. Like I'm pumped with those numbers. It's another place to be and another place to grow. That's pretty much how I see it. Speaking of growing, and next year, we already have 2 dresses and a women's coat on the docket. I don't know which dress is going first. I have one and Rochelle has one. I'm going to show you a picture if you didn't already see it. Hold on just a second. Let me close out of this. There we go. Bring this to the middle. So this is my family. There we are. This is the church that I grew up in. Somebody in the Facebook group actually went to the later service this day, which I thought was amazing. But I grew up in this church. We moved away to DC. Well, actually, we got married in this church before it looked this fancy. And then my parents have been there for like 30 years. No joke. I think it is actually 30 years. But as you can see, we do not own dress shoes. I've tried, actually, in my defense, both of the twins own black boots, like winter boots, and not even like fuzzy ones, like kind of dressy winter boots that they then like already scuffed up within the first week because they came from Rack Room, but whatever. Jenny doesn't own any shoes, and Callan, like that kid's growing like a weed, and so what's the point in buying him dress shoes that he's going to wear once? And yeah, no point. Anyway, so it is what it is. You can't see the back row where we are wearing dress shoes, but actually Miss Stella is wearing hot pink Crocs, I think. They might actually match the gnomes. These are the gnomes from So English. This is actually a Piper I'm wearing my new dress that you can tell no details from in this photo. My dress has bust darts and waist darts, and it's going to have the option of, and it has a zipper in the back. So this is all new territory for 5 out of 4. I'm pretty pumped about it. You can either have a pencil skirt or an A-line, and yeah, it's beautiful. And I look smoking in the 1/3 that you can see back there. I'm pointing to the screen, but nobody can see my fingers. That's how my life is. Sydney, right here in the snowflakes, this snowflake fabric is from Joann. You can see that the sleeves are just a smidge short. This is actually the Christmas dress that I made for her last year. It's a Sydney, named for Sydney. There you go. Has a circle skirt that twirls beautifully. Yeah, she's like, I don't need a new dress. She doesn't wear a lot of dresses. She's like, I don't need a new dress. This is perfect. I love this kid. And then Madeline is actually wearing a, oh man, I forget the name of this pattern. It is from Peekaboo Patterns. It's the Everyday Peasant dress, maybe? Somebody will correct me because that's a pretty big company. I actually altered it to have a full circle skirt. And then you can't see it because it's blending into her tights. But it actually has black binding around the bottom of it. It's a woven. And look at her wrists right here. So this dress was made when this child was 5 years old. That should tell you something. And it's held up beautifully. It has a sash. Maybe we lost the sash. Anyway, it spins. It's beautiful. The pattern from Peekaboo, just to make sure you don't go out and buy it, doesn't come with a full circle skirt. I totally added that flair. It's easy to do if you're willing. And then Miss Virginia here, with her cute Converse, is wearing the Little Luna skirt. Little Luna? Yeah, that's what it's called. Mini Luna? Something like that. And yeah, super fabric, So Fit Fabrics, right? No, I'm drawing a blank now. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have written this down. Somebody correct me. But this is that Supplex fabric. And this is actually what I wanted to make another dress out of for Madeline, who loves dresses. And I probably still will, even though it's got a holiday theme. But it's just beautiful, and it sews up so nicely. It's a Supplex, but it's beautiful. Anyway, that's all I can say about it. And now I've made a jerk of myself. All right, moving right along. Back to me. So you can see if I'm blushing. I also wanted to put in a plug. Oh, this week. How about this week giveaway? We're going to give away a 5 out of 4 $25 gift card. To enter, you can tell me a New Year's resolution. How's that go? Somebody wore Converse for your wedding. I actually wore flip-flops. They were fancy gold-colored flip-flops, but I wore flip-flops. And no, we weren't at the beach. And yes, my grandmother might have freaked out a little bit. But my husband's only not taller than me. And so I didn't want to wear heels. And plus, I didn't want to wear heels. And so I'm all about comfortable shoes on your wedding day. Okay, so $25 gift card to 5 out of 4. If you would like to join the giveaway, give us a New Year's resolution. My throat is a little more parched than usual. But what I'm drinking, I can't show you a picture because it's hard to get in the mug. My gift beyond the basement, that's what my husband and I gave each other this year, was an espresso maker. And it was kind of a joke. I think it was kind of a joke. I just drink regular coffee. I'm not a super fancy person. I do like a latte every now and then. When we travel for gymnastics, I have to get coffee on the road. Sorry, you can see that there's still a little residual there. But 2 years ago, I bought my husband an espresso maker, and both of us were hemming and hawing about returning it. I think he drinks espresso or maybe a cappuccino, one of those two things. They get them confused. But we were like, oh, it's just going to take up room on the counter. We're not really going to use this. And so we returned it. And then fast forward 2 years, he bought me one. And so it was a surprise. And then we hemmed and hawed again. And finally, one morning I woke up before him and I was like, you know what? We're keeping this. And oh my gosh, it's so fun. So we are now making my own lattes. So I'm mostly dairy free for those of you who don't know. I don't think any of you actually know that. After Stella was born, all of a sudden my body just couldn't handle dairy anymore, so I just have it in like butter and not like buttercream frosting because that would send me over the edge. But so I drink coconut milk, like a unsweetened creamer. I don't know. I find it at Target. But it's amazing. I can like froth my own milk. I'm not super fancy, but like I've never done this before, so that was my big Christmas gift. It was a surprise. I'm kind of hard to surprise, I think. Anyway, because if you had asked me what I wanted, that wouldn't have been on the list, right? All right, so Stephanie Erickson, just put, my New Year's resolution is to sew at least one clothing item each month. Well, I have if you want to up that ante, you guys should check out the 52-week sewing challenge. Yeah, that's one item a week. Man, somebody else says work on time management. That would totally be me. Anyway, 52-week sewing challenge is a group on Facebook. They do weekly giveaways. So basically they have a weekly challenge, and you can either join the challenge and sew up whatever that week's challenge is, like sew something with pockets or sew a bag or sew something for men. They have literally a weekly challenge, people. And but then they have giveaways to go with it. And so I think 5 out of 4, hopefully, if we got our act together or our time management, are a sponsor for a given week. And so you can enter the challenge, and you can either reject that week's theme or do it, but you just sew something up, enter the challenge, and you can win the weekly giveaway. This group is super well organized. They even have like binders, printouts that you can do to help plan. It's amazing. I long for this level of participation in planning, that I could do it. I highly recommend it. It's a pretty well-oiled machine at this point. The first week is cleaning your sewing room. I'm gonna just sit over here. Does this look natural? Hi. My sewing room is an epic disaster, and it always is. I would say that one of my New Year's resolutions is to use up my fabric stash. It's not going to happen. I'm terrible. And I actually remember, like, a friend of mine had a fabric stash of quilting cotton. She does a lot of quilts. And I was like, this was before, like, I got into that. And I was like, how do you have so much fabric? Like, this is amazing. And because at the time, I was doing less sewing, and I wasn't doing patterns yet. And so I would buy fabric and then sew it. Ooh, now I buy fabric with ideas for sewing it that may not ever happen. I'm staring at a quilt sandwich that is rolled up and ready to be quilted, but I'm going to have to move my sewing machine out to the dining room table in order to get it quilted, because you got to like put it on your shoulder. I only do it on my home sewing machine, but you put it on your shoulder and you like run it through, and it has to sit on the table behind the sewing machine so that it doesn't like pull and break all your needles. Yeah, I have my stuff cut out for me. Oh, somebody else is doing the 52-week. Scare me. I like things that scare you. That is awesome. That's something that we kind of try and push here at 5 out of 4, hence the dress with darts and a zipper. We didn't have one yet. I felt like, darts just allow so much more flexibility. If you're, don't have boobs at all like me, then it's easier to get a better fit. It's still a knit pattern because I prefer wearing knits. My son is cleaning up the downstairs for me because he wants to play video games. And so he's collected all the toys in a bin, and it's really going to be a challenge whether or not... Hold on, I'm on my video right now. He's trying to talk to me. My bad. Anyway, I'm excited about this, but even one of... Rochelle is not interested in... No, not interested is a hard word. She says she messes up a lot of zippers. So we're going to come up with a video, Laura. And we're going to come up with some tips to really help that zipper turn out nice. If you have places to where you can get, if you have stores, either on Etsy or a website or whatever, where I can find really nice dress zippers, please leave me a link. That would be awesome, because I need some better ones. The ones I have, I don't like. I want like a pretty one with the edges and so I can leave it on the outside. I've never done that before. I don't wear a lot of dresses, I'll be honest, but I do like to dress up occasionally. Hence I have another one of the new, I need a name for it too. Maybe that'll be a different contest. Here's why you should do zippers and knit. Any like fleece jackets you want to do, pajamas for the kids if you want to do like a one piece for a baby or whatever, dresses, skirts. There's so many opportunities to put a zipper in. I like knit just because it's comfier for me, but wovens, it's a little bit easier because it's not going to stretch out and get that like wavy look. That's one thing that kills me with zippers on knit pajamas. Oh, see, my problem with Wawak, I love Wawak in general, but their search function doesn't, like, it's like pages and pages of things I don't want. And so I have a really hard time spending time there. And then when I run out of time, they empty my cart. And so then I have to start all over. Drives me absolutely bonkers. Oh, Catherine says I need to work on being less critical of my work. We can bond over this, Catherine, because I don't sew a lot for others because I freak out that it's not perfect. And nobody ever notices. Ever. Yeah, I'm pretty bad about it. I'm enjoying this, though. Decluttering is a lifelong dream. I want to downsize. I don't know where I'm going to put the children. Maybe I'll just live in the yard in my RV. All right, moving right along. So I'd really like to use my stash this year, but unfortunately, where I get caught is I like to mix and match things, and then I don't have coordinates. And so I have a ton of French terry because I love French terry. And unless I'm making pajama pants for the kids or sweatshirts with no hoods for the kids, I don't have enough. I don't have 2-yard increments. I have 1-yard increments of everything. I don't know. This is a level of planning that I just am not. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm not that well organized. All right, don't forget to enter the giveaway for the $25 5 out of 4 gift card. Just tell us one of your New Year's resolutions. If you don't do resolutions, just tell us something. Say hey. As always, if you're on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe. I looked at the numbers this morning, and we have a ton of viewers who don't subscribe. So go down there, like the video, subscribe to our channel. We don't send out a lot. On YouTube. You get notifications about 5 out of 4's Tipsy Tuesday. All right, so other things that my family's been doing this Christmas holiday, because this is our last week. We've gone to see a few movies. We love Jumanji. It's like a family movie. We watch the first one all the time. And a present that I frequently ask for because I really don't need more stuff is movie gift cards because it's so expensive. So that's the number one gift for my sister to get me. I love it. And my mom usually gets one for my husband too. And that lasts us all year. It's amazing. And so another thing we like to do, so we actually went to see Jumanji. I'm dying to see Little Women. I've heard it's so good. And then today at the movie theater really close to our house, it's one of those with smaller square footage or whatever, less seats. But then the seats sit lay back and it's all assigned and it's super fancy. We're going to go see Spies in Disguise because I like Will Smith too. As for books, last but not least, I've read a lot, or I've listened to a lot. Some of them are super, super fluffy. Right before Christmas when I was so sick, I really went fluffy route. So I listened to The Christmas Pact by Vi Keeland and Penelope Ward. It was fluffy and it was entertaining, but it was your typical let's make a pact to say that we're engaged or dating, even though we just met each other, blah, blah, blah. It was entertaining. It was a nice, fluffy 3 stars. Then I read The White Christmas Inn by Colleen Wright. This was sort of my first foray into holiday romance, feel good, basically a Hallmark movie in book form. And I just listened to it on Audible, and it was super cute and lovely because, of course, it took place in a Vermont bed and breakfast, which everybody dreams is the perfect location. But I really enjoyed that one. And then I read The Kissing Booth by Beth Riekels. Now, here's what led me to this one. I have 2 tweens, girls, and we do read a lot here. And on Netflix, they have all these movies aimed at that genre, sort of the teen girl, emotional, whatever. I won't. Anyway, I have a word on my head. It's not a good word. Um, and so I like to watch them and see if I think they're okay for my girls to watch, and most are. Most are fine. To All the Boys I've Loved Before was super cute, and she had a good relationship with her dad, and he was just, it was the guy from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and Northern Exposure, if you've watched all of those shows like I have. Is that the same as the movie White Christmas? No, it's not. I don't think so. I don't think so. That's an older movie that my mother-in-law loves, and we've watched that a lot. But I haven't paid enough attention. I just watch it for like the flair, the movie. So I haven't really paid that much attention to the theme or what the movie's about. But I have seen it like a ton of times. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just drawing a blank. I think this one's actually fairly new. So I don't think it's the same as the movie. Because this one's White Christmas Inn, even though that one's an N too. You know what? I'll just go watch the movie. I don't know. So The Kissing Booth was actually written by a 15-year-old. And she uploaded it on Wattpad, which is like a free book place that I don't participate in. And it was downloaded over 1 million times. And then Random House picked it up and published it. And then Netflix made a movie out of it. And so, like, anytime, like, Aragon was written by a 15-year-old boy. My son's asking to go play the Nintendo. And so we had to read it because I'm just so curious. Yeah, I'm just so curious. And it read like it was written by a 15-year-old. That's not to mean that it's bad. The character development was great. It was a super cute book. The movie is quite different. It was not what I hope my 11th graders are doing, but that's just me. But it was entertaining. Again, all of these are just super fluffy, very entertaining, quick reads, obviously, because there's 5 books on this list. The last one that I just finished yesterday on our road trip was called Lost and Found by Orson Scott Card. That's the same author as Ender's Game, which is one of my top 10 books, probably. This one is not sci-fi necessarily, but the kids all have like, it's about a boy who has a special skill to where if he's walking to school, he feels items that are lost and like has to return them to their owners. And they call it a micropower. And it's cute in the beginning. And you're like, oh, this is a really cool premise for a book. Like, what's going to happen? And then it turns like one step too dark for what I want my 13-year-old to read. That's what I'm like. I mean, it's fine. And it was fine for me. Like, I thought it was an entertaining book. And again, the character development was pretty good. And it talks a lot about like, he has a shunning bubble. That's what he calls it because people think he's a thief. And this girl enters his bubble because she needs sort of to not be bullied. And so it talks a lot about like how they get to be friends and what a friend is. And I definitely found myself highlighting passages. But then there's just some like kind of seedier like things that happen that it has a good ending, but that like the climax of the book, like it was super bad. Like what happened. I'm not speaking English. Anyways, I don't want to tell you exactly what happens because that's part of it, but I don't think my 13-year-old would read it. She'd probably have bad dreams. She's kind of sensitive when it gets to more like dark themes. Anyway, so that one was entertaining. The language in that one, it's not written by a 15-year-old, obviously. He's a grown man, but I loved it. The way they talk, the son was super witty. And so he knew when he was being a brat and like pushing back, but his dad, like the way they talked to each other, I loved the language in it. Even the girl was pretty much a genius and that was her character. Like it was just really interesting to hear the word choices. And then at one point they're talking about what do you call a group of cats? And they go through this list and it was just super fun because it was like a murder of cats or, a horde of cats or whatever, and they were making jokes about it. I just enjoy that sort of wordplay. It's super witty. And then last but not least, because I needed a little bit more depth in my life, I've started listening to Middlemarch by George Eliot. If you've been here for a while, you know that I really like period pieces about women, apparently. I don't know if there's that many period pieces about men. So I'm a huge Jane Austen fan, stuff like that. And I've read Little Women a ton of times, and so I went with Middlemarch. I've actually never read it before, and it's beautiful. It's read by a woman who's in the which version? She's in Emma with Gwyneth Paltrow. She plays the annoying wife of the vicar. Vicar? That's the right word? Anyway, I can't remember her name right this second. But she's a great reader. She actually does a lot of the period pieces. All right. Oh, see, I think so. Wow. I talked your head off for 36 minutes and I entered into this thinking I didn't have anything to talk about. Not a lot of sewing. Sorry. Some sewing. Anyways, I like sharing what books I read because I'm always looking for new ideas, especially for my tween and teen. I love sharing books. That's how you find out more about people and about the world, I think. Don't forget to enter our $25 5 out of 4 gift card giveaway. Just tell us what your New Year's resolution is. Keep an eye out. We are going to be testing one of the dresses here very quickly, probably starting next weekend if all goes well. So keep an eye out for that. If you're interested in joining our promo team, we would love for you to apply. I'll put the link in the show notes. And that's all I got. All right. Until next week, thank you for being here and thank you for being part of the 5 out of 4 community. We are super excited about 2020 and we hope that you're here to stay. See you later.